UFC 324 just took place, like literally just ended. Justin Gaethje defeats Paddy Pimblett by unanimous decision to become the new interim lightweight champion. An incredible fight, could end up being one of the fights of the year. Paddy showed incredible toughness, reckless fight, and Paddy just didn't really fight his game plan. Sean O'Malley does some sort of black magic to summon 3 29-28 scorecards in his favor and get a UD win over Song Yadong. I thought that was very undeserved. Derek Lewis completely quits in his fight against Waldo Cortez Acosta. Gene Silva styles on Arnold Allen for the win. Umar Nurmagomedov gets a very easy win against Davison Figueiredo. Atiba Gauthier win. Charles Johnson knocked out, and Joshua Hokit with a great win over Denzel Freeman. Now that's what really matters on this card. And we're going to go through the most important fights on this card. I'm going to give you my recap and reaction. So let's get into it. My name is Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. All right, guys, so before we get into the video, do me a huge favor, like and subscribe down below. And if you're watching on your phone, swipe left on the comment section and hit that hype button for me as well. But without further ado, let's get into the video, because Justin Gaethje is your new interim lightweight champion. He very likely will be going on to face Ilia Topuria at the White House to unify those belts. I mean, it makes a ton of sense. Talking about the main event itself, we have Paddy Pimblett, who I picked. I did okay on picks, guys. I went 6-5 on the night, about 500 on my picks, and I was really confident in Paddy, but very clearly I should not have been as confident as I was. Paddy Pimblett went out there and got his ass beaten, pillar to post, got the break speed off him, 4 or 5 rounds. He had 1 round, in my opinion, that he won, but god damn, Justin Gaethje hits really hard, and holy shit, Paddy Pimblett is tough as hell, because Justin Gaethje the entire night was swinging out of his shoes, overhand, especially that right overhand, but the left hook as well, and some good uppercuts in the clinch. Paddy got dropped 3 or 4 times, dropped with a body shot. I know there was a little bit of controversy in there with an eye poke by Justin Gaethje and a low blow by Paddy Pimblett, but all in all, it was really nothing that would have like crazy changed the outcome of the fight. Let's be real. Justin Gaethje was just 1 step ahead of Paddy the whole time. Paddy had some good moments. Paddy landed that uppercut early. Justin Gaethje, towards the end of the fight, was having some very dramatic and severe reactions to Paddy Pimblett's big shots. But in the end, Paddy was just not ready for this opportunity against a high-level guy, and thank God it wasn't against Ilia Topuria, because frankly, even after seeing Justin Gaethje fight tonight, I think Ilia Topuria kills both of these guys. I mean, let's be real. Justin Gaethje was swinging out of his shoes wildly, ducking his head off to the left side. I already see Ilia Topuria putting his lights out in the first 2 rounds, but Paddy would have gotten really badly hurt against Ilia Topuria tonight. So he got the easy way out, which is an ass kicking from Justin Gaethje, one of the best lightweights of all time, one of the hardest hitting lightweights of all time. And it was a good fight. Paddy just didn't show up and do his game plan. Paddy did a lot of talk about how he could knock out Justin Gaethje. I thought that that was all just talk. I genuinely thought that Paddy Pimblett talking about knocking out Justin Gaethje was just talk, and that he was going to go get the body lock, try to get a takedown, get around to the back, get a rear naked choke on Gaethje, because Gaethje's got bad submission defense and bad grappling defense as a whole. I mean, Fiziev took him down twice. I thought that was going to be Paddy Pimblett's game plan, but Paddy literally was trying to knock out Justin Gaethje, and I think that was a bad game plan from the start. Now, with Paddy Pimblett, and there's a lot of talk about his subpar resume leading up to this fight, I think now we have every single confirmation that we need, that these fighters need more progression through the rankings. Like you win 3 or 4 outside the rankings, then you get a top 15, then you get a top 10, then you get a top 5, then you get a #1 contenders fight. Paddy Pimblett beat Michael Chandler, who is ranked like 12th or 13th now, floated up through the rankings after that fight and got a title shot, because the UFC really needed big names on this first Paramount main event. It was a good main event, and it was a good event all in all, but Paddy Pimblett's undefeated streak in the UFC comes to an end. Frankly, he probably shouldn't have been in this fight in the first place, even though I thought he was going to win. And he just didn't follow the game plan. He could have won if he followed a good game plan, but the game plan was weird, and he did not fight his fight. He tried to beat Justin Gaethje at his own game, and that's kind of it. They both landed big shots on each other, and my only takeaway is, holy shit, Ilia kills both these guys, to be honest. So that's my thoughts on the main event. Congrats to Justin Gaethje, winner by unanimous decision, 49-46, 48-47 on one card. And then we move on to the co-main event, Sean O'Malley against Song Yadong. I know there's a ton of people saying that Song Yadong just landed a few low kicks and stuff. And listen, I picked O'Malley. I thought O'Malley is the better fighter. I like O'Malley. I'm a fan of O'Malley. But O'Malley lost this fight. He should have lost 29-28, and instead he won 29-28. Song Yadong had more volume, more activity on the low kicks. Sean just did more visible damage. And I know that damage is a massive, massive part of the scoring criteria. And Song was busted up, especially that one knee, the same knee that he landed right here on Cheeto Vera that like broke Cheeto Vera's skull. Sean O'Malley is a dangerous guy, but holy shit, man. Like, he did not win this fight the same way that he should have lost to Peter Yan before getting the title shot. And now he's going to get another title shot against Peter Yan, probably at the White House. I think this card really decides our White House card already, because we're probably going to get Ilya Gaethje main event, Peter Yan O'Malley rematch co-main event, Harrison and Nunes feature fight, and then maybe Wei Lee and Mackenzie Dern on the card as well. But this is going to be Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley co-main event at the White House. And the same way that Paddy Pimblett didn't look ready for this opportunity against Justin Gaethje, Sean O'Malley, even though he's beaten Peter Yan, I don't think he's ready for another fight with Peter Yan. If we get this Sean O'Malley that fought Song Yadong tonight, and he goes up against the Peter Yan that fought Marab last month at 303, or not 303, 323. Sean O'Malley's getting his fucking ass beat by Peter Yan badly, and he should have lost this fight. Sean O'Malley was landing some good, like, pitter patter, like jab, jab, change direction, side to side, jab, cross, change direction. But he did get hit hard a lot, and O'Malley had bad body language for a lot of this fight. I mean, I'll go back and rewatch. These are just my initial reactions to the main event, the co-main event. But Paddy got his ass beat and O'Malley should have lost. O'Malley didn't get his ass beat, but he should have lost, and he was behind basically the whole fight, except for I think the second round he should have won. Maybe the first it was, I can't remember. Derek Lewis literally pulled a Derek Lewis special, and he just decided that he had enough, and he was like, I'm done with this fight. I'm cool. He had gotten hit enough times. He was getting frustrated enough to where he just said, I'm good on this. Derek Lewis had so many opportunities to put Waldo Cortez Acosta away just by pressuring, and Derek would get into the pocket and stare at Waldo. He would literally get into the pocket and stare at him, and then he would get out of the pocket and throw these lunging lead hooks. And he just didn't do anything that would have been conducive to him winning a fight. Like, he should have pressed forward. He should have let off combos. He should have thrown that big overhand, but instead he would feint the overhand and then lean in on a left hook. And I hated that so much. Derek Lewis could have won this fight and gotten himself into a title shot conversation. Ciryl Gane, John Jones, Tom Aspinall, Alex Pereira, somebody. But now Derek Lewis is going to go back to smoking some 13th ranked prospect like Mick Parkin at the Apex or something. And it's the Derek Lewis cycle. Smoke a few prospects. Oh my God, he's back. Fight a real contender, get fraud checked. I know it's Derek Lewis. It's hard to say he gets fraud checked when he has UFC records and he's fought for belts before, but still, Derek Lewis quit in that fight. We move on to Gene Silva versus Arnold Allen. I had Arnold Allen in this fight, and Arnold Allen just needed to push a little bit more. Gene Silva was doing the damage on the front foot, and Arnold Allen was a little bit too content to throw jab crosses from the back foot, whereas Gene Silva, even though that first round got away from him, he turned it up big time in rounds 2 and 3. And he even hit this towards the end of the fight where Arnold Allen was on his hands and knees and Gene Silva steps on his back and jumps off in celebration while there's still time on the clock. And this right here from Home of Fight, you see one of the craziest MMA pictures. Gene Silva is a psycho, and that's absolutely the case. Arnold Allen, I took him winning this fight by KO. I thought that Gene Silva was going to get KO'd in a firefight the same way that he did against Diego Lopez. And Gene Silva showed that he can be patient, that when he needs to, and that his chin is not compromised. So while it was a good fight, and they're probably going to push Gene Silva towards a title shot, they probably want him to jump over the winner of Movsar and Lerone Murphy. They're probably going to fight in London in March. But I'm telling you, with Gene Silva fighting this week and Volk fighting next week, they're going to talk about Volk and Gene Silva. So it's going to be fun, but Volk smokes this dude for real. So we move on to the featured prelim. Umar Nurmagomedov decisively beats Davison Figueiredo. He was bigger, he was longer, better grappler, better striker. Davison Figueiredo used to be the flyweight champion, which is 125. He missed weight by nearly 3 pounds at 135. So it just shows a lack of commitment. I think Davison Figueiredo at this point in his career is 100%, no question about it, around for a paycheck. He knows that he's not going to fight for a belt at any point in his career going forward. And so he's going for a check. He's probably getting $250K. $300K for a fight. He's a former champion. Davison Figueiredo's showing up. He's a blue collar guy. One of those, I'm a fighter as my job, not I'm a pro athlete or a superstar. It's one of those guys that I fight for a living. And that's what Davison's doing. He's showing up, putting on a half-ass performance, a little bit of good moments here and there to show that he's still got that dog in him in a little bit. But he's just outgunned at this weight class. He moved up because he didn't want to cut the weight anymore. He misses weight here. I haven't even talked about Umar, and Umar's the one that won the fight. Davison Figueiredo is just checked out on his career. He's going to be a journeyman ranking guy for the next 2 or 3 years before he retires. Apex main events, pay-per-view main card, or pay-per-view feature fight like this was featured prelim. And Umar, even though he won and it was decisive, this is not enough for Umar to jump over Merab or Sean O'Malley for a title shot. So Umar looked good. He just didn't have a good sense of urgency. And Umar, despite the win, is going to go into Ramadan, take some months off because it's Ramadan. And then probably maybe I want to say middle of this year, Corey Sandhagen rematch. Maybe an Ayman Zahabi fight makes a lot of sense for that. But Umar looked good. He just didn't push when he needed to. And that's why he's not going to get the title shot. We move on. Atiba Gaethje. As this massive, massive prospect, I thought he was going to put this Andre Pulayev guy away very, very early. And that's what I said in my prediction. I said he's going to put Pulayev's head into Joe Rogan's lap. And Atiba Gaethje showed that he is a very, very one-dimensional fighter. He threw this one knee in the clinch right here, but aside from that, he would stalk, big jab cross, like a weak jab followed by a very big overhand. And he just kept chasing that throughout the entire fight, caught in these like loops of like stalk, jab 1-2, 1-2, cross, jab cross, jab cross. Pulayev was outgunned and outsized in this fight, but he at least had some sort of variety to his strikes and to his timing. And I think that this right here shows that Atiba Gaethje needs to step up. You got to give him a Gregory Rodriguez, Bruno Ferreira, Brad Tavares, somebody that's in that fringe ranking like 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe just outside the rankings to see what this guy is really about. Because Atiba Gaethje, huge athlete, insane athlete, big power, but very, very one-dimensional and one path, like one-track mindset of jab cross for the knockout. No wrinkles in his game, except for this one knee. They keep showing this one knee on highlights because it was big, but I expected so much more out of Atiba Gaethje. He's obviously lying about his age, by the way. There's no way this guy's 23 years old. He's on steroids for sure, in my opinion. But a step up, a Bo Nickel, a Brad Tavares, somebody that's in that fringe ranking and could give him a tough fight. Because I think Bo Nickel wrestles this guy to a 30-27 decision win. We move on. Amazing start to the card, and then it petered out as the card went on. And you notice I'm not even talking about Natalia Silva and Rose Namajunas because Rose got robbed and it was a boring fight. So anyways, Alex Perez, after missing weight, knocks out Charles Energy Johnson. Very, very fun fight. Johnson's just one of those guys with a habit of hands down, chin up because it looks slick. O'Malley gets away with it. Some guys don't. Paddy got clipped a lot tonight. Charles Johnson got knocked out. I hate when this happens where you have a ranked matchup. 11 versus 13 at flyweight. Charles Johnson's got a win over Josh Van, the champ. A win here. He starts working towards fighting the champ that he's already beaten. And here he is. He gets knocked out by a guy that missed weight. And when the guy misses weight, it makes it seem like nothing happened in the division. Because even though the fight took place and Charles got knocked out, Alex Perez missed weight, and so it's hard to give him credit for the win. And for Charles Johnson, you're like, yeah, you got knocked out, but the guy missed weight, but you also did get knocked out. And so it kind of stalls the division a little bit to where you almost want to see him run it back and make weight because Alex Perez didn't suffer through that last few pounds. Now, Joshua Hokett, essentially heavyweight Chael Sonnen, former NFL player, ran through Denzel Freeman. Joshua Hokett is undersized at heavyweight, but he's really athletic. He's like 230, 6'1", 230 at heavyweight. This Denzel Freeman guy was way bigger than him. And he called out Waldo Cortez Acosta after smoking Denzel Freeman. There's really not a whole lot to say about it because Denzel Freeman like quit in the fight and he's terrible. But Josh Hokett's fun to watch. And then outside of that, we had some really weird stuff happen on the card. We had Justin Gaethje covering up Staff with a Band-Aid. Figueiredo missed weight. Alex Perez missed weight. Cameron Smotherman gets pulled from the card because he collapsed after weigh-ins, literally made weight and then collapsed. And this is a comment right here saying he did all this for 10K show, 10K win. Dana White is a criminal. Yeah, of course, that's something to talk about too. And then, of course, something I'll have to talk about more as the week goes on. We had a fight pulled hours before the fight because of irregular betting line scandals. We had Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez get pulled from the card because irregular movement on their line for Alexander Hernandez to get knocked out in round 1, I believe was what I saw. Paramount's not playing no shit. They had a really embarrassing moment. They signed the UFC deal, and then the Isaac Dulgarian scandal happens. They said, nah, we're not playing any shit with this gambling stuff. If you get any sort of inkling that there's a fixed fight, it gets pulled. And that's what happened. And then, of course, we had the updated bonuses as well. The fight of the night, knockout of the night, submission of the night, those performance of the night bonuses. Those are 100K, not 50K now. And if you finish your opponent, but you don't get one of the 100K bonuses, you get a $25,000 finish bonus. Now, this might look like, oh yeah, good on Dana, really helping the fighters. This is pennies. This is an extra $15 million a year out of their pocket where they're making billions, hundreds of millions, billions in profit. And we're supposed to give Dana White a pat on the back for 25K when the guy's making 10 and 10. So he goes and knocks somebody out. He goes home with 45K instead of 20K before taxes. It's not life-changing money. These guys are pro athletes. We did see more finishes. We did see guys going for the finish way more. And the fights were crazy. The fights were good all the way through. But this is not something to pat Dana on the back about. This is like, cool, stepping stone. Let's do more. All right. So there we have it, guys. The start of the Paramount era. I didn't have any problems with my stream. No glitchiness, no freezing, which used to happen all the time with ESPN where I'd get booted off the app and all that stuff. And aside from that, the fights were fun. A bunch of craziness the day before with pullouts, but the fights were fun. Gaethje, frankly, beat the brakes off Paddy. Paddy gained a lot of fans showing this toughness, in my opinion. Justin Gaethje, gonna get smoked by Ilya. I hate to say it. And then Sean O'Malley wins via robbery, probably going to get a title shot at the White House next. Derek Lewis quits in his fight, 100% quits in his fight. No sympathy for Derek Lewis here as much as I like him. Gene Silva back in the win column after getting knocked out by Diego Lopez. Umar Nurmagomedov with another win following the Mario Batista win in October. Atiba Gauthier, not fraud checked because he won, but not what we wanted. We expected more. Charles Johnson knocked out. Hokit with a good performance and a bunch of weirdness as well on the cards. So there we have it. Guys, how do you feel about Justin Gaethje as your new interim champion? How do you feel about the now essentially promised matchup between him and Ilia Topuria? And how are we feeling about Paddy Pimblett's toughness in that fight, his game plan? And how do we feel about Sean O'Malley getting the win here? Because I think Sean O'Malley won via robbery. So there's my thoughts, guys. The Paramount era has begun. 2026 in the UFC has begun. We are taking over MMA YouTube. We had over 1,000 viewers. We got people saying this and that about my channel these last few days, but they aren't getting those type of numbers. And I appreciate you guys showing up, showing me your support, watching my videos and my streams. It's been awesome, especially the last few months. So like, subscribe. 325, another pay-per-view coming up this week. We're going to be doing a fight companion for that as well. Guys, I will see you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Do you want more from Fight Society? Like and subscribe below this video and click the join button to become a channel member today to get access to behind the scenes vlogs and members only live streams.